There comes a moment in every man's life when silence becomes louder than words. A moment when the absence of someone who once stood beside him begins to echo through the quiet hours of the morning. Many men have experienced this strange reversal of attention. While they were present, their presence was overlooked. When they were gone, their absence suddenly became heavy. At first, this feels unfair. It can feel like the world is operating on some cruel delay, where appreciation only arrives after departure. But this pattern is not mysterious. It follows an ancient rhythm of human nature, one that philosophers observed long before the modern age. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The moment someone walks away from what diminishes them, something shifts, not only in the world around them, but within themselves. The deeper lesson is not about making someone miss you. That is too small of a goal. The real lesson is about reclaiming authority over your own life. When a man stops chasing validation and begins governing himself, the energy around him changes. What was once taken for granted becomes rare. And so the question is not why she starts missing you after you are gone. The real question is what transformation occurs within the man who chooses to leave. Let us walk through that transformation step by step. 1. The moment we withdraw our presence. Most people do not recognize value while it surrounds them. Familiarity dulls perception. What is always available begins to appear ordinary, even if it once felt extraordinary. Seneca observed this flaw in human nature centuries ago when he wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." People grow comfortable with what they assume will always remain. When we stay where we are not respected, we unknowingly participate in our own diminishing. Our presence becomes predictable. Predictable things are rarely cherished. But the moment we withdraw, something changes. The quiet space we leave behind begins to reveal the weight we once carried. Suddenly, conversations that once flowed easily are gone. The stability we once provided disappears. The calm we brought into chaotic moments is no longer there. And only then does the mind begin asking the question that should have been asked earlier: what did I lose? 2. Absence reveals what presence could not. When we are constantly available, our value becomes invisible. Like air in the lungs, it is only noticed when it becomes scarce. This is not cruelty. It is simply human psychology. The mind is wired to recognize loss more intensely than it recognizes stability. Epictetus warned about attaching ourselves too strongly to things we cannot control. "If you kiss your child," he said, "say that you only kiss a mortal." His lesson was not about coldness. It was about awareness. Everything in life carries the possibility of disappearance. When someone walks away with dignity, they introduce a reality the other person had not considered, that access to them was never guaranteed. And once that realization appears, the mind begins replaying memories, moments, and conversations that were once dismissed as ordinary. Absence forces attention. 3. Walking away reclaims inner authority. Leaving is often misunderstood as weakness. Many people believe endurance is always noble, even when it becomes self-destruction. But endurance without self-respect is not virtue. It is surrender. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Sometimes the most powerful action a man can take is not confrontation. It is departure. When we walk away from disrespect, we make a quiet declaration. Our peace is not negotiable. That decision reshapes the mind. It strengthens the spine. It teaches the soul that dignity is not something granted by others. It is something we guard ourselves. And strangely, the world begins responding differently when we carry that internal certainty. 4. Distance allows the mind to see clearly. Closeness can blur perception. Emotions run high. Words are spoken quickly. Misunderstandings multiply, but distance has a cleansing effect on thought. Seneca believed reflection required space. He warned that constant emotional turmoil prevents clear judgment. Only when the storm settles can the mind truly observe what has happened. When we step away from someone who once dominated our attention, we regain perspective. We begin seeing patterns that once felt invisible. We recognize moments where we tolerated behavior that conflicted with our principles. And perhaps most importantly, we rediscover parts of ourselves that were neglected while we were trying to maintain someone else's approval. Distance returns us to ourselves. 5. Self-mastery becomes the new focus. Once the noise of emotional pursuit fades, a new possibility appears. Discipline. The energy that was once spent trying to win someone's attention becomes available for something greater: personal mastery. Epictetus taught that freedom begins when we stop trying to control what lies outside our authority. The opinions of others, their feelings, their recognition, all of these fall beyond our command. But our habits, our actions, our thoughts each morning, those remain entirely ours. When a man redirects his attention inward, toward growth, strength, and clarity, he becomes something rare in the modern world. And rarity commands respect without ever demanding it. 6. The quiet power of indifference. Eventually, something unexpected happens. The same person who once consumed our thoughts begins fading into the background of our life. Not because resentment remains, but because peace has replaced obsession. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly of the fleeting nature of human opinion. "Soon you will have forgotten everything," he wrote. "Soon everything will have forgotten you." When we internalize this truth, we stop performing for the approval of others. We become calm in the face of rejection and humble in the face of praise. And that calmness, the quiet stability of a man who no longer chases, often draws attention more powerfully than pursuit ever did. 7. Why they finally start missing you. By the time someone begins realizing what they lost, something profound has already changed. The man they once overlooked is no longer the same man who stood before them. He is calmer now, more disciplined, less reactive. His attention is directed toward purpose rather than validation. Seneca wrote that true strength lies in self-command. A man who governs himself cannot be easily shaken by the behavior of others. And this is the paradox. The moment we stop caring whether someone misses us is often the moment they begin to. Not because we manipulated their emotions, but because we transformed ourselves. What was once familiar has become distant. What was once available has become selective. And what was once taken for granted has become something they can no longer reach.